Now, you've seen a lot. You've seen a lot of different tricks and a lot of different techniques for creating selections. I've run you through all kinds of different selection tools. You know, not to dump more on you, but there's even more in terms of the selection capabilities of Photoshop. Some stuff which we'll get into in just a little while. But you know, I thought I would show you just a few other neat tricks, a few other neat techniques that I think you should really keep in mind as you're working on your images inside Photoshop, in terms of selecting, of course. What I want to do is I want to select this massive L-shaped bar way over on the left-hand side of the image. So I'm just going to zoom in on this guy. And, you know, as always, what I would do anyway is I would run through my options. Okay, well, can I use the elliptical marquee tool? No. Can I use the rectangular selection tool? Well, no, not really. How about the magic wand? How about the lasso tools? And so on, right? Now, you know, what I want to do here, though, is I actually do want to use my rectangular selection tool. And what I want to do is I want to try and, again, combine multiple tools together. And you know, I'll bet you that we'll have this object selected in just a couple of steps. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab my rectangular marquee tool out of the toolbox. I will click and drag a box or a rectangle around sort of the length of the bar, something like this. Okay, that's fine. And then what I want to do is I want to drag out a second rectangle just to grab this little end piece here. So I'm going to hold down Shift because I want to add to my selection, right? And I'll just kind of grab a little piece, something like that. Okay, perfect. That's all there is to it. Next step. Essentially, now what I want to do is I want to knock away the background. And this trick, this technique, I think I've already shown it to you once or twice, but I love this trick and I use it all the time whenever I have an object on, you know, a fairly solid colored background. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my magic wand tool out of the toolbox. I'll bring my magic wand tool over top of this background, hold down Alt or Option. The minus sign appears beside the magic wand tool because, again, holding down Option or holding down Alt over on the Windows side is going to subtract from a selection, right? And the magic wand tool creates selections, or it selects based on color. And we have a nice solid background color here to work with. So I'll single click and that essentially knocks away that background that we had inside our selection. Did you catch that? It's a really, really cool technique. It's a really cool trick. You know, I might have a situation where I have some kind of an object, maybe a product or a toy car or something like this, and it's been photographed against a drop sheet, a solid colored background. This is one technique that I might try out, right? And then, of course, once my object is selected, I can zoom out and flip over to the Move tool. Kind of the same story as before. Drag this guy over into my artwork. And what the heck are we going to use this guy for? Maybe, how about a jawline for this piece here? So I'll use my free transform, Command T or Control T. Drag that down. Kind of rotate him around a little bit. Something like that. I'm not sure if I like that or not, but hey, what the heck. All right, enter to lock that in. All right, let's do our flipping trick that we just saw. So I'll duplicate this guy, just kind of drop him beside him there. And then, of course, back to the Edit menu, all the way down to Transform, and then all the way down to Flip Horizontal. All right, perfect. Position them up. And that's all there is to it. So there you go. There's a couple of cool selection techniques for you that you can definitely make use of in your own work.